You know, I think I got a sunburn today. Yeah. Not my finest thing to do. I'm not a huge fan of the sun, trust me. But, anyhow, picking up right where I left off. Oh, man. Go. Search. Back up. Go forward. Close. Man, this is gonna be done in like a few seconds, so I'm not even trying to make the turn. Alright, now I'm gonna come around. Oh man. Today was a long, hot day. I kinda felt like I was at work. You know, standing around. Ooh, somebody just subscribed. I got a subscriber. That's awesome. I like new people. New people's cool. Yes, this is what I do. All day, all night. Every day. No, I should just turn this into a job. Now everybody just needs to pay me like, I don't know, a lot of money, and I'll just turn this into a simple job, and we can have these conversations, and then I can be like, hey, I am your uncertified, certifiably crazy, like, counselor. I think it'd be cool. Close. I think that'd be awesome, though. So I got good news. Got great news. It was 104 there. That's not good news. That is like good as in, hey, I just got rabies from some like squirrel in the tree next door. Yeah, that's how good a news 104 is. My good news, on the other hand, is I didn't spend $1 million at the Renaissance Fair today. And I came back with just as many people as I left with. Yeah. I tried to talk the wife into like taking the kids and like, I don't know, leaving them. She wasn't okay with that. I tried though. Oh, I should just hit this real quick, shouldn't I? Maybe go right back down to where I was. Innocent. I don't see how you have an awkward way of having great news. Yes, we can fry eggs on the sidewalk and like have heat stroke and everything else, and that's great that we're at heat stroke level. I don't understand how that can be like all that great of news. It's like people will die today because of heat index, but it's great. You know what would be really great for us? Something that we haven't had in a while? Rain. You know, because that whole country song? Rain makes corn, corn makes whiskey. Yeah, that one. La-di-da, la-di-do. I am pretty much done with you. H. I don't know why. You just like went stupid on me or something. Have to train my stuff, not myself. Well, I mean, seriously now. Think about it. You are like telling me like, oh, it's 104 today. It's 105 today. It's 117 today. And you're like nonchalant about it. Yeah, today was a hot day. Really? Really? Today was that hot of a day? Well, yeah, it's in the hundreds today. Really? That's like scalding. And you're like all nonchalant, like, ah, it's nothing big. It's nothing major. It's only in the hundreds. Well, yeah, you work in some factory downtown. So I'm gonna tell you something. Peaches grow in a can. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown. You're not old enough until you understand the reference. When you can sit back and say, I get it, then you're old enough. Oh man, I don't know what's wrong with this, why it does this. It just really funkulates me. So anyhow, I had this conversation with one of my boys. Alright, and I don't know how to break it through to him. It kind of hurts, okay? Because I can relate to his whole life. Hey, plenty of rain here, to 18 Celsius. Man, I like that. You like sum up the whole day in like 10 words and then you're like, yo, I gotta take off, see ya. You spread the love and run. You remind me of Santa Claus. You know, I'm gonna probably just start calling you Santa Claus because you spread the love and run. Yo, Scotland's awesome. Here you go. Boom. You know what I can't get over? The Scottish accents and how they can't say some of our words. I think that's so awesome. Is 64 Celsius. No. 18 and 64 are two completely different numbers. Trust me. What the fuck are you even playing? So, what am I playing? I'm playing Farming Simulator. It's where I run a farm, and on my farm I can do all this really cool stuff and everything, and I can buy tractors and everything and be like this farmer that is not a farmer in real life because I suck at farming in real life. I once had a cactus that I killed. Yeah. That's how good of a farmer I am. I killed a cactus. Well, it's actually not the game that's the cool part, okay? Think of this, okay? Here's a great one for you. What it is the conversations and everything that's behind it. I base my whole thing. Yeah, it's endless tractor work. It really is. But I base this whole thing. Shit I've ever heard. But I base this whole thing that I have going, okay? Hey, what's going on? I base this whole thing on not the game itself, but the conversations in the long run. Alright? So, I was once asked if I seen a counselor. Hey, farmer. I was once asked if I seen a counselor. Well, the answer is yes, I kinda do. Alright? And I know a lot of other people that don't see counselors and stuff like that, but the problem is how can I put it? They need to get, I believe, okay, bro, the name of the game is in the title. Oh, it's not that. I believe that what it is people need to get out how they're feeling. They need to get out all this stuff. And on here, the person can be a... oh, well, I don't care if somebody's making fun of me. People make fun of me all day at work. I don't care about that. It's the fact of... I put out this because people want to get things out in life, and they want to have these conversations in life, whatever, and they want to express how they feel in life, but yet they need to have a mask to do it sometimes. And that's why I do this, and I have this up because people can say basically anything that they want, and it don't offend me, you know? It's not even about that. They don't know what the game is. They just jumped on, and it's this whole thing of, hey, this is what this is, and let's have a, like, conversation about it, you know? It's not even that. It's the fact of, you know, let's come on to here and have a conversation. The reason why I play the game is I don't have cameras to pop up an actual podcast type deal. I would love to do a regular podcast, but it's like I don't have the cameras, don't have the lighting, and you do not want to see this room. Trust me, this room is a mess. I might as well just back myself into the corner, you know what I'm saying? This room is bad. But I want to bring it to people's attention about, you know, hey, if you got something to air out, whatever, come over and say something, you know? I'd be glad to hear anything. If you have problems with the people that you're around, say something on here. Go for it. I want you to. The reason is because some people just need to let it out. They need to air out some problems, and I'm down with that. I understand it. You know? I've been there. And it's like, I don't want to pay for help, you know? I don't want to pay for his help. I think counselors are just a joke, blah, 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 blah. That's cool. I got a buddy who says that all the time. He's like, dude, I'm a disabled veteran. I think these counselors that they want me to see is a complete joke. And me and him had this whole conversation on it. And when we had this whole conversation, what happened is it's like, okay, well, good. I'm glad. This is your opinion of it. Me, I believe that counseling mixed with the right medication dosages, there has been positive, you know, research behind it, saying that it does work. But if you don't want to go, then by forcing you to go would never work. I'm talking on the whole counseling thing. It will never work. But if you're like, hey, yo, I got problems. You see, mine started because of the whole simple, I have this huge anger problem, you know, and I don't want it to get any worse. Let's see if somebody can help with it. And I started talking to people, and then it's like, hey, I got this all aired out, I got this all aired out, and things just started, you know, clicking. So, I mean, it did work for me. Now, I brought up this show just because, you know, I understand whether you're a veteran or not a veteran. Maybe you were just this like problem on the street, or seen yourself as this huge problem on the street, and I mean, you wanted to change something about you. Okay, you realize that it is a problem and it needs to be addressed and it needs to be fixed. And I just got stuck in the ground. Can you believe that crap? But, I mean, maybe you see that it's a problem and you want to get help and you don't know how. Well, honestly, I will try. It's like, I will try to help somebody, like, no matter what on something if I can. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it should be in life. And I believe that not enough people in life are out to help people. Like at the medieval fair, this one guy, I can't think of his name. For the life of me, I can't think of his name. But they were doing a huge thing where they had all these swords and stuff. It's one of the sword shops at the medieval fair. Where they were auctioning off a bunch of their stuff. You know? And they were doing it for the disabled veterans, and 100% of the proceeds go to the disabled veterans, stuff like that. They're giving away free stuff, and they're doing these auctions, and they're doing this and doing that. And they were trying to get this whole crowd going in. And dude's like, hey, doing these shows over the last few years, whatever, and doing it like this, we brought in hundreds of thousands of dollars. Oh, the fair was pretty good. It really was. I enjoyed it for the most part. I was getting to a point where the heat was getting to me. I mean, I was not eating right, stuff like that, for the last few days and whatever. And I stuffed myself this morning. Yeah. That was a mistake. But this dude is doing these raffles and everything for disabled veterans across America. And you know what? I'm down with that. I walked up to him and I said, thank you, you know? I really did. I shook his hand, said thank you and all that. Just, I was being serious, and I'm like, dude, I am a disabled veteran. You know? I am a disabled veteran because of how, well, just what happened in service. So what I mean, I do what I can for my community. Like I said, I am a volunteer firefighter. My wife and I both actually are volunteer firefighters. We try to do as much as we can for our community. We try to do as much as we can for everything. Well, everybody around. But the whole thing is we can only do so much. So why not promote people to do better? That's why when people are like, oh, I need something to do, I need this or I need that, it's like, hey, join the fire department. You know, they need you. We're down 2 million plus firefighters type deal. You know what I'm saying? We're down all these people, and it's really, really hard. It's hard for everybody. So what I do is I go into that, and then it's like another thing is that we bring up is we bring up this whole what is it called, like people in school, okay? People in school. We bring up this whole I bring up this whole question. Hey, I know all these people that are in school want to be nurses and everything. Hey, why don't you start out at the fire department? You know? Why don't you start out doing this? Because it gives you a huge advantage. And then some departments might actually pay for all your classes and everything. It's like, hey, why don't you join into the fire department, and there's like rewards that you can get out of it. Anything from tax breaks all the way up to, like, jobs. And you can't say, well, there's only, like, 2 jobs. You have to go in and fight fires. No. I've only been into a few buildings. Okay. And I told our previous chief, if I never have to go into a building, ever, I will be happy. He's like, oh? I'm like, yeah. I believe that if I have to go into somebody's building, well, if I have to go into a building to fight a fire, it's already been lost. He's like, why you say that? Well, the National Guards is great too, because what's really cool is if you get into the National Guard, stuff like that, okay? Here's your greatest thought. Say you want to go to the National Guards, alright? Great idea. Well, why don't you see if they have a firefighting program? Yeah. Because if you got into a firefighting program or something like that into the National Guards, and then you come out and want to be a firefighter, and you want to get paid for it, it actually gives you points on the test. My old chief for our fire hall went to go for a fire department, and he was like, I want to say 10th on the list. All right, he scored 10th on the list out of like 400 people. And what happened is when they started adding in all the military points and everything, it kicked him down to like 30th place. So imagine if he was 10th on the list and had military points, whatever, he could have went to 2nd place type deal. And he would have already been hired on, making like $80,000 a year. And the cool part is he works 10 days a year. Yeah, that's about it. So could you imagine working 10 days a year and being like, eh? Or 10 days a month and being like, I'm done. Yeah, that's it. National Guard, you can get that where they go to college while you're in the National Guard. You know? What's the worst thing that they can do? Help pay for your classes? You know, I have this nice job, whatever. Call it whatever you want. But there is a way. I gotta figure it out, alright? I'm not the smartest when it comes to this, but I gotta figure it out. That I can go to college classes and have work pay for it. Wait. Go to college classes for free? What'd you do today? Oh, I went to class. For what? Oh, well, I'm going to business management classes, you know? Well, that's got to be expensive. Not really. Why's that? My job paid for it. They paid for you to go to business management? Yeah. Doesn't your place pay for that? In America, I think, honestly, 90% of college stuff, I think, is stupid. I really do. You see, this is where the cool part comes in. It's called honesty. Alright. I think half of the stuff in these college classes are dumb. Why do you need to learn foreign languages? Alright, simple questions. Why do I need to know a foreign language? Well, you need to be well-rounded. Well, here, I'm really well-rounded. I have something called common sense. You just want to take my money. Why do I need to know what structural architecture and buildings are made of, and what Picasso paintings and stuff like that look like. Why do I need to learn any of that? Well, we need you to be well-rounded. Okay. While in the military, I was trained to do this and I was trained to do that. So is that well-rounded enough for you? Well, no. You need to know our stuff. Well, I got this certificate, I got this certificate, I got this certificate, I got this certificate, and I can go on and on about certificates and stuff. Does that make me well-rounded? Well, no, because it didn't come from our school. And that's where I end it with. So basically, I'm not well-rounded because I'm not paying you to pass these classes. Yeah, that's your well-roundedness. Why do I have to pay you to pass classes that has nothing to do with my job? Because we need you to be well-rounded. I shut the window down here. I see lightning here and thunder. No, you can probably leave the window open. Nah, it should be alright. Just close it down a little bit, but allow airflow still to come through. But yes, this is what I mean by being well-rounded. I mean, most people that you ask them what they did in college, ask them about all the unnecessary stuff that they had to do. That's where people miss out. What's all the unnecessary things that you had to do? Well, I had to go do this class and this class and this class. Why? Man, it's like 11:30 at night. She's gotta wake me up in the morning at 6:30 or so I can go to work. I don't get up very well in the mornings. I suck at waking up. I really do. My wife is also this amazing individual who she makes me lunch. So yeah. And she makes sure my coffee's made. Yeah. So kind of sit back and watch it is almost out of the question, especially when our son is supposed to be put into his bedroom. That is not ready. This is almost ready. I think the canola down there is ready. Yes. So I just need to change heads. But yeah. Well, you're in South Dakota, correct? Oh, there's nothing to be sorry about. I mean, you stated what was on your mind. Ooh-wee-oo. But yeah, like I was saying, I mean, I think college is a joke, honestly. I really do, but people are very, I need proof that you went to this school that taught you all this stuff that didn't really teach you anything. Who said I didn't learn that by being autodidact? Yeah, I know. Kinda cool. Words that I can learn. Whoever said that, these measurement systems that they test your knowledge and everything, who said that those are correct? You see, you can go back far enough, keep asking, who gave this degree? Well, gave this degree? You go back, like, so far, and then it's like, nobody. Well, who's nobody? You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, you crush people so quickly with their great knowledge. Because I start asking people these questions, you know what I'm saying? I ask where things come from, why things are done, and for some odd reason, it's like, I hurt feelings on this. I really do. Yes, that's basically what I get down to. Who taught the first teacher? You see, I'm not here to try to hurt anybody's feelings, you know? I just want to know the truth. And by me asking questions about the truth, if that, like, hurts your feelings or whatever, then we have much bigger problems. You know what I'm saying? We have much, much bigger problems. If I hurt somebody's feelings by asking for the truth. And then it's like, I'm not going to say who's right and who's wrong, but what about these teachers who teach a bad system? Who is there to say that it's wrong? Why don't more places say that it's wrong? Because you know as well as I do that there is a wrong way to teach. There is a right, well, there's somewhat a right way, but there is a wrong way to teach somebody. Ooh, I hear it. It's coming across. Do you hear the rumbling in the mic? Probably not, but it's there. It really is. But yeah, it's like I ask simple questions and it like hurts feelings or something. I don't know. Alright, good job. You're doing a great job here. What else needs to be done? Oh yes. Let's get into this real quick. Get the Kubota going. No, I don't. Well, what is the wrong way to teach somebody? Honestly, teach them in a narrow-minded perspective. Honestly, that's like the major way to teach somebody something wrong. So, if I teach you something, okay, straight out of the box, I go teach you something and I say this is the only way to do this. Alright? That means that there is no other way that it can be done, and it will always be this one way. What if I taught you 1 + 1 is 1? And just believe me. You know, that is the wrong way to do it. But if I say, well, 1 + 1 is 2, Because, you know, and I use like a deductive reasoning or something like that as a proof. Alright. Like, here's a good one. Here's one of my favorites. If you never heard of Abbott and Costello, please learn yourself something. These two guys are so funny. 13 times 7 is 28. Yeah, when I get off here tonight, I want everybody to look up 13 times 7 equals 28. He proves it. He proves 13 times 7 is 28. Here's another one that I hate. I absolutely hate in school. Christopher Columbus did not discover America. I don't care. He didn't. America was discovered way before Christopher Columbus. Way before. Actually, America was already settled before Christopher Columbus. Yeah. So how can you tell me that he discovered America? I mean, then read books like The Trail of Tears and stuff like that. I believe The Trail of Tears, it's two different, like, things. Okay, so the Indians did. Yeah, that's well, sometimes a really dumbed down way helps. I had a college professor, okay? Great guy. Honestly, great guy. Actually, two of them. They taught math. Alright? And when they taught this math, they taught the same thing for math. One of them, it was his more advanced class because he did like basic college math and then like advanced it up to like algebra, stuff like that. And then when you got into the algebra 2 and stuff, you had to like do like a review type deal of basic algebra and move up from that. It's just how the books were set up, alright? And they both taught this same math, okay? But they taught it in two different ways. One way it made perfect sense every time. The other way, Dr. Chu would say, "Is that clear?" And all I could answer with is, "As a brick wall." He's like, it's not the math that is too hard for you. It is how I am teaching it. You are not understanding my way of teaching, which is okay. Yeah, you like that? You're not understanding how I'm teaching it, and that's perfectly fine, because that means I need to teach it to you in a different way. Texas school system teaches us that Indians discover America. Okay, so where's the Indians from? India? You see, and these schools teach us that slavery is only like blacks. That's exactly how I was taught, was blacks were the only slaves. They never mentioned whites as slaves. They never mentioned, you know, these people or these people or these people as slaves. They never did. They didn't mention whites. They never mentioned Asians. They never mentioned anything like that was slavery. So when I start asking questions, it's like, well, this is how the book says it, and that's final. Well, no, it's not final. This is the truth. You're right. It was the nomads that come across the land bridge and everything up there, the Bering Strait or whatever. Yes. So, another thing that is really cool information that I learned about all that. Did you know actually some of the first surgeries were done in America? Yeah, all they did was follow the food across the bridge, basically. Because nomadic tribes, basically, they just follow food. But yeah, one of the coolest things is some of the first surgeries were done in America. I believe the first brain surgery was done like 7,000 years ago. Now, let me put this in a different perspective. The first successful brain surgery is from about 7,000 years ago. Now we're talking something completely cool and different, ain't it? Yes. And Indians were slaves. Indians were kicked out of their areas and everything. Don't forget the Chinese. We had them slaves as working on the... they want to use the word indentured servant, but still it's a form of slavery, basically, for working on the railroad and everything. That's why Chinese and stuff have a whole underground history in America, which is like really cool to learn about. If you want to get into a little bit more stuff, you got like whites were being used as slaves for years. Another one, if you want to go back to slavery even farther and cooler, I mean, I don't know exactly how relevant it is. I mean, it's relevant because take it how you want it, okay? I take everything with a grain or two of salt. But if you look at it, Moses was sent down the river, and Moses freed the people. Wait, Egypt is in Africa, ain't it? It's the northern territories of Africa, right? So Africa had African slaves. It's in the Bible. Yeah, ain't that awesome? Think about it. This is stuff that I love learning about. I love, like, what is he doing? H. What is he doing? How awkward. How, like, awkward. Well, now you're going with when did you graduate high school versus me, you know? Yeah, that's the next question. When did you graduate high school versus when I graduated high school? Yeah, must be drunk AI. There's this really cool dude that's dead now. It's kind of cool, kind of mean to say it like that, but truth is truth. He said, "I will not allow." I might paraphrase this pretty bad. Ooh, that was pretty bright. I might paraphrase this really bad, but I will not let schooling get in the way of my education. You like that one? I love that phrase. That phrase is awesome. It means so much to me. I will not let schooling get in the way of my education. Yeah, you might have heard of the dude once or twice. Albert Einstein. Yeah. You wouldn't expect something like that out of him, would you? I mean, dude only graduated, what, 4th grade? Yes! I went to school until 4th grade. And then I worked in a, what was it? A patent office. Yes, I worked in a patent office for years. And my wife helped me out because she's really good in math and everything. And she helped me out making, like, the relativity theory. Huh. Just saying. Look it up. I mean, famous quotes from Albert Einstein. So, what is the definition of insanity? Well, definition of insanity, according to Albert Einstein, is when you're testing something multiple times for a different outcome. You know? Why do something 1,000 times expecting it to be different? Well, honestly, that's not a bad idea sometimes. I don't think it's insane. I want to test my brakes, or I want somebody to test my brakes on my vehicle 10,000 times. I want them to test the brakes on my vehicle type deal 1,000,000 times before saying, hey, it works. Hey, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? I mean, these theories and stuff that these people do, the whole idea of what these people are doing, the geniuses and everything, I mean, they bring a whole different light in. Like schooling, they should bring a whole new light into the classroom. Why would you want just one opinion? Why do you want just one idea? Well, you can't say, well, the Bible says. You really can't say that. Science killed the Bible. Yeah. Science kills the Bible. I don't care how you want to put it, how you want to think of it, whatever. Go for it. I don't care. But I will stick with my opinion. Science kills the Bible. Every time. Because you're going to have somebody come up to you and say, well, can you scientifically prove that that happened like that? I mean, science is its own work of art in a way, okay? Let's just call it a work of art. Science is really, really good, and science is really, really bad. I believe it can be bad because it knocks out this whole list of mystery and everything that keeps people on the right track. I'm not saying that the Bible is bad, okay? I'm not saying science is bad. That's up to you to discover on your own. You see, this is why I have this channel like this. This is up to you to discover on your own what is right and what is wrong. Okay? I mean, some things are just wrong. My opinion, killing is wrong. You like that one? But can it be a justifiable cause? Whoa, now I'm bringing it in a completely different degree, ain't I? I'm bringing in a completely different look. My opinion, the Constitution and our amendments and all that is right. It is the best thing either. It's the best thing. I believe a republic system is one of the best things that we can have. But republic systems also bring on corruption and everything else like any other system. So therefore it's bad. I believe that the caste system can be a great system. Reason is that caste system can be a great system is because I believe that socioeconomic status has a lot to do with relationships. Whoa. That's kind of a shot out there, ain't it? My opinion states socioeconomic status has a lot to do with somebody's relationship. People of a low SES will not be as compatible to somebody with a high SES. This is kind of mind-blowing, ain't it? The things that we can learn on here. I believe that the people that you are around determines who you are. You know? I believe if you are around dumb people all day, you are subject to being dumb. But I believe if you take a dumb person and put them around highly intelligent people all day, having upper conversations and allowing them into the group, that you will have a new opinion and it can still be smart. Whoa. I know, ain't that awesome how I see things? My favorite thing to say is, now challenge that I'm wrong. I hate being wrong. But, I mean, going off of history and science, I mean, it's kind of hard to prove things. You know, or disprove certain things. And I mean, I try to talk to everybody I try to be as honest as, oh my god, she sneezed when she came in and it kind of scared me. All I seen was this light like turn on because I had the door all closed and everything. And this head like come flying forward and I thought she was going to try to run into like the furniture with her head first. I was like, that is a dumb idea. The furniture will win against the head. Well, maybe not my son's head, but it will usually win against somebody's head. Another department. One department has already been tapped out for 3 down.
Yep, and the other one is tapped out for lightning struck a residence.
Discussion on here. Alright. Love you. socioeconomic status, if that's what you're going with the what on, is basically stating that I'm not saying that you can't change your SES. What's that? Okay. 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 Alright, sounds good. Love you. Good night. Socioeconomic status is like if a person is poor versus rich and... No, the head in the furniture? Oh, yeah, the wife came in the door, and first thing she did when she came in was just start sneezing. H. Yeah, she started sneezing like really bad, and I thought it was kind of funny. So we got furniture right there at the door when you open it. And she almost slapped her head off of it. But please explain what SES is as well. SES, so if a person is poor, okay, and they live in a poorly educated area, whatever, blah, 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 blah. There's a whole list of stuff that goes along with the whole definition of poor can be consistent of. That is SES. All right. And basically, kind of SES is like, hey, if you're poor, then guess what? You're going to be tomorrow. Probably poor. And it is very SES don't discriminate, trust me. There is no way for it to discriminate because it's based on where you live, how much money you have in hand type deal, and what all your assets and stuff like that is actually valued at. Like if you lived in like a $10,000 trailer, your SES would be lower than somebody living in a $20 million mansion. Okay? That's how SES is kind of described. So what I'm going at with when I say SES on that is if somebody is dirt poor, has no car, has no like nothing, their chances of working out with somebody who is rich in a actual valued relationship is slim pickings. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying that it's not probable. That's why I narrow it down, okay? My theory on this, and no, I did not write books on it. I did not do like this extensive like $1 million research project onto it or anything like that. But my point in perspective being, I had to narrow that down. My point in perspective on it being, okay, a poor person cannot get with a rich person because of their habits. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at it, okay, I believe that poor people have a chance to change to be rich people. But I also believe that rich people can screw up to become poor people. Like I said, there is no discrimination on it. Either you're poor or you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're one or the other. There's no like defined lines on like any bias to it. So how I narrow it down is I have the rule of three. Rule of three being there's three major classes. Yes, look at lottery winners. Look at lottery winners. How many lottery winners became poor after they won the lottery? So you got 3 majors and 3 minors in the classes, okay? So you have poor, middle class, and rich. And then each of those have 3 classes in them. So you got like poor, middle poor, and upper poor. Okay? Upper poor is more of, okay, they live on welfare, they have 6 kids, they have a place to live. Low poor is more like this individual lives on the street and there's like no chance that they're going to get a house or anything, and they're probably going to die on the street. It's sad to say, but we'd have that here in America. So then you got this middle class, which is the middle class that needs assistance. Then you got the middle class that don't really need assistance or anything. Oh no, the wife's back. Flashlight right there by the stairs. Or not the stairs, but the railing right here. At the very corner of the railing in this wall right here. I've seen a flashlight there. It's a gold one. Okay. You see it right there? Look all the way over to the where the stairs is, right under the railing between the 2 rails, you know. But then it's like you got the middle class, which, hold on a second, I'll be right back. But yet, I mean, you got like the rich that's like, okay, they have a lot of money, but they might not have this mansion or anything like this, you know? There's like different classes that go through the whole thing. But I believe that you got the rules of 3, okay? You can't go, you have a harder time with a relationship if they're outside the class of 3. So, my wife and I is medium to lower class, middle class individuals, okay? We're not rich by any means, but we got vehicles, we got a house, we got all this other stuff, you know. We're not broke. But if I go to if something ever happened to our relationship, I just want to use us because it's easier. And I went to somebody that is like, lives out of a car, our relationship probably won't go very far. It will probably fail very quickly. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see the whole middle class and upper class and all that. I won't make it with a multimillionaire. No way. We don't see things eye to eye. What's up? If I was with a multimillionaire, we would not make it. Aha! So my wife just stepped into like the end of that conversation, and when she stepped into the end of that conversation, she's like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. We've had this conversation before. Yes. I measure everybody one way or another. I can't say, hey, I'm not, I can't say that I don't discriminate in some way, shape, or form. Because, one, I'm honest. And two, I believe everybody does it. Everybody profiles other people. One way or another. In other words, a person who got busted like swindling billions of dollars or millions of dollars out of accounts and everything, yes, you're gonna look at them and be like, no, you're not gonna be in charge of our financial department. No. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that's going to be out there. You're not going to allow them to be in charge. You're not going to allow them to, like, do these things. It's just how it is. You can't say that you're biased or anything like that. We don't, like, how is it that people say? We don't care about your past. It's like this. Yeah, you kind of do care about my past. We don't discriminate in any way, shape, or form. I hate when people say that. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Because if I took a multi-billion-dollar company, whatever, and I stole like millions of dollars from them, I'm pretty sure I will not be your like financial secretary of your company. But anyhow, it's about that time. I'm probably gonna call this a night. Probably get doing some work tomorrow on here. So as I say every night, have a good day, have a good night, have a good evening, have a good whatever it is when you are watching this video. Please like, please subscribe. And well, have fun, be safe, and you know what? I will probably talk to y'all later. Have a good night now.